People are too distracted to hear their own thoughts. Well, are you surprised to hear that? Because I'm not. In today's society, we're constantly surrounded and distracted by social media. And I think we know its services a bit too well, and we consume it a bit too much. Don't you think? And when I first came up with this concept or like with this idea of people being, distracted from their own thoughts, I just couldn't stop thinking of this girl that I saw on the internet recently who was kind of like analyzing this recent trend of people eating sticks of butter. And not only sticks of butter, but people would like put glitter on it. No, sorry, not glitter, like some kind of frosting or cream. But I'm sure maybe you can find somewhere glitter as well. But that's not the point. The point is that this is literally not okay, and that is disgusting. We spend hours and hours scrolling through those videos. Whether it's butter consumption or something else, it doesn't really matter. And it gets to the point when we genuinely forget to focus on ourselves and just live our life outside of social media. And let me just give you a little example. So imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you go brush your teeth. No, before even getting up from your bed, you take out your phone and start scrolling. And that was actually me this morning, and yesterday, and maybe even the day before yesterday. Before your brain has even woken up or processed its existence, you throw at it a flow of dopamine and an insanely amount of short form content. And we all know how algorithm can be sometimes. It will literally throw at you anything, and in a split second you will see a video of somebody getting married, the singer that you like releasing a new song, somebody getting run over by a train, and finally somebody coming up with something even more disgusting than eating a butter, like a frozen soy sauce cubes eating like popsicles. And please don't get this as an inspiration for your new mukbang trend. Don't. And the real question here is, do you really think your brain needed this overflow of information the first thing in the morning? I don't think so. And the reality is, you probably don't know that couple who is getting married. That singer you like, he doesn't even acknowledge your existence. You definitely didn't want to see a death. And I mean, watching somebody eating a stick of butter in the morning when your stomach is empty, it might actually trigger some nauseous feelings. And I mean, I'm not really sure, but some sensitive people might find it actually disturbing and it might make you feel sick. So, why would you torture yourself like that? Why would you consume all of this, all of those videos, all of this information, but it doesn't give you anything? Like, it's meaningless. As I said, you consumed this trash, you probably already low on energy, and you just simply feel like shit. And you're in a bad mood. You finally get up from bed just to notice that it's already 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And this realization hits when you realize that you already wasted half of your day for nothing. And then what? You have your late breakfast, and then you go back to scrolling. And it becomes a cycle, a kind of routine that you go back to every single day. And let's be honest, is this some kind of routine you really want to follow? There is this phrase that really stuck with me from other YouTuber who said it, and he was kind of discussing the similar topic that I am right now. And so he said people aren't addicted to social media. They're addicted to avoiding themselves. And I wouldn't agree any less. This is the most accurate someone can get when describing nowadays society. People are so busy and eager to fill their minds with some trash from social media that we discussed earlier, just to not hear their own thoughts, just to not be their own person. And why would you want that? You know, social media is an escape from reality, and I mean, we're all different, we all live different lives, and somebody might consider their life miserable, hard, whatever it is. Social media is a form of escapism. Escapism? Yeah, I think I'm saying this right. So, this person, let's say, who's working this really hard job that he hates, and he was thinking about quitting it for 10 years already, but he doesn't. He just goes home every single time, puts on a TV, drinks some beer. I don't know. I'm just like imagining some kind of like middle aged man doing this. And he just watches. I mean, if we're taking as an example a middle aged man, I don't think he's gonna watch some brain rot stuff that alpha generation kids watch. But whatever it is, you just put your time watching some other people. You watch other people's life, people you don't even know about. And you know the thing that makes me like so crazy about this is the fact that people would spend hours and hours of their time watching someone else's life. Someone you don't even know about, and somebody you will probably forget about in a week because you will find some other creator you're interested in. And so you spend these hours watching this person, and you didn't even take a minute of your time to think about yourself. Like, isn't it crazy? People would rather watch someone else chasing their own dreams than trying to achieve them themselves. So, for example, taking that example of this man, you know, who hates his job, and for example, he always dreamed of being a TV director. You know, he likes films, he likes all this, he likes TV industry. And so he might be watching some other directors, some other people who pursuing this dream, who make successful films, and you know, all this stuff. Instead of like stepping up himself, quitting the job he hates, and just start living his dream life. And you know, I'm not saying this like, oh guys, just quit your jobs, you know, start pursuing your crazy dreams because I said so. I just think it's better to, you know, it's better to take this time to like just sit down with yourself like I'm doing right now. I'm just like here outside sitting down with myself, just like speaking up my thoughts. Just sit down with yourself and think, what do you really want to pursue in this life? What do you really want? What do you really dream of? And just a simple question, who you are. Who are you? Because you will be surprised, but many people wouldn't be able to answer that because they spend hours and hours just watching someone else, wasting their time, watching some trash they don't even need to know about, they don't even need to see. You know, like people some people would be like so chronically online and be like so proud of it, like, oh yeah, I know this like recent drama between those like two celebrities, oh I know this new brain rot, or I don't even know, like this new mukbang trend of people eating bada. Like people be so proud that they're like so chronically online, like I don't know, it's like every single thing that is going on online. You know, I know every single drama with celebrities or whatever, but this is not impressing, at least for me. Because, like, okay, you're able to talk about this celebrity buzz, but are you able to talk about yourself? Like, are you able to, those people also get so excited about it, like, oh my god, have you heard this new drama? Like, buddy, you should be excited about your life. You should be excited about your life in that way. You should be like, oh yeah, you know what? I do this job that I don't really like, but I'm starting to take small steps into, putting more time and effort into my own personal project that I hope will be like my full time job soon. And this is more impressive and interesting to hear than being this kind of person of like, I know everybody's life, I know all the drama, but I don't know anything about myself. And this middle aged man can be taking small steps every single day to pursue his dream of being a TV director instead of, spending another decade of working on the job he doesn't like, job that makes him feel miserable. I understand that some would argue like, but if I completely delete any social media, I will cut myself out from the outside world. Like, I'm not gonna know anything. Like, I understand that we live in this society where like social media is like so important. We literally get all the news from it. Or like some people would even say, but I just get inspiration from it. Like, for example, I want to be a YouTuber myself. So if I want to be a YouTuber, I can just like, not watch YouTube. I mean, you could argue that as well, but I'm just like thinking, if you like that person who's like, I'm just watching those videos to kind of like get different ideas, get inspiration for my own projects and all this stuff. To like, I mean, it is important to also kind of like, you know watch other people do something, get inspired, but don't confuse inspiration with overconsumption. Some people would consume more than they create, and so there should be balance. And I think there should be also, you should create more than you consume. That's the drill. It's the drill here. And so I actually want to do the kind of video where I'm gonna be creating for a whole week, like creating more than I'm consuming. So I'm really looking forward to it. I already started planning and everything. But yeah, I just think, well, it is important for you to get inspiration from other people, kind of like, get this outside world perspective. I mean, we are privileged enough to, when we want to find something out, we can just like ask ChatGPT about it or just Google it. You know, people used to go to the libraries and like search in books all the info. And so we are privileged enough with these opportunities, but are we using those opportunities with good intentions? Because I don't think so. Once again, we're not. So, if you want to be a YouTuber, watch that influencer you like, watch the videos that you want to create that inspire you, but don't get caught up watching short form content and some brain rot stuff you don't really need. Okay? And I also think not a lot of people realize how big of a problem it is, because I do really meet people. How do I even put it? It's not like I meet those people, but there's just some like really young, like kids, literally kids, like alpha generation kids who would go everywhere with their iPad, with their phone, and it's becoming a real big problem because this is just all they do. You know, they just like and they consume the most random, trashy thing ever. Like 99% of what they watch, like their brain doesn't need to know it. I think you like realize what I'm talking about here, right? And so those kids, you know, they're not mature enough to realize how bad it is for them. I mean, they just get this constant dopamine, and like they're okay with it. You know, at the end of the day, even if you're like an adult who's like struggling with quitting any kind of short form content, or like, you know, just you really get caught up in this social media trap, you still got a job, you still got like things to do. But with kids, if their parents or like their close relative don't like push them to go outside to play, you know, with their friends, to like do like extracurricular activities and all this stuff, they will just sit at home in their iPads watching brain rot stuff. And so they become this kind of like, they just have those empty minds with no personality. They would just like, and trust me, I have experience with those kids. You will literally say something to them, like try to have a normal conversation, or like, you know, try to interact in a way, and they would like give you no response. And sometimes like, no, like I'm talking seriously, it's not like even in a joking manner. They would just say some brain rot shit. Like they would say some brain rot stuff just like out of the blue. Just like this is like the only thing they have in their heads. And yeah, or sometimes they would just like open their mouths, like not knowing what to say. Just like, so like I just have those questions of like, are you even able to like, you know, like I'm asking you a question. Do they even bother to like process it in their heads? To kind of like, I don't know, think? Like, are they even able to think nowadays? Like, that's really bad, guys. This is what's happening to kids. Imagine what will happen to them once they grow up. Like, they're not gonna have any sort of personality or ambitions or like big dreams. I mean, why? They spend their whole childhood in front of the screen. It's also happening to adults and just everyone in 2026. What can I say? I mean, grown adults eat butter as their mukbang. Like, are there really hope for society at this point? Actually, one of the main reasons is like the main motivation that comes with this video is actually something that my mom is constantly telling me whenever she gets a chance. I don't know, I just like noticed she says to me this a lot. And so what she says to me is that you're constantly in your head. You're constantly thinking. You're thinking too much. You're always dreaming. And so she would say these things to me, like honestly, on a daily basis at this point. And like, yeah, hell yeah, I do think. I think I'm privileged enough and like I'm self aware enough person to, you know, have a thought and even have a think of that thought. And even like think of that thought. And then overthink both of the thoughts. You know, it's just like, I mean, it's just it's a lot. You know? Because I remember, was it like last year? So I quitted taekwondo, and it wasn't even my decision, to be honest. It was just not really accessible. Like, just the timing was not good. And so I was not longer able to go to taekwondo. And I don't want to say this as an excuse to, like, I'm no longer doing any sports, so I can just like brain rot in my bed. No, I should have like taken measures into my own hands, and I do realize that now. But I spent the whole of last year. My routine would just look something like that. So I have school from, like, my lessons start at 9 a.m. Actually, at like 9:30, 9:40 a.m. We should be at school at 9:30, but the actual lessons start at 9:40, and it's until 5 p.m. Okay, so I get home. It's like a 15-minute drive, even less. And let's say like I'm at home, like I'm settled down at 5:15, 5:30. And so I have all this time from 5:30 to, like, let's say 10, 11, 12. Like, I would go to bed really late. 5 hours at least. So I have 5 hours for myself. I don't know, I can do like homework, I can help around the house, or I can use this time to for myself, basically, to like do some sport, like do something. Instead, I would put my bag down, take my phone, because in our school we're not allowed to have our phones like at all, and I wouldn't even bother to like take it with me, because I mean some people would, because they go on a bus or like they get home, on their own, so they need to have like connections with their parents, or like just have their phone. But I would always like leave it home, like I don't really need it. So I would take my phone, start scrolling on TikTok or YouTube, whatever. And so every single day is the same thing. And it's just like this constant cycle of, oh my god. Like, the only thing that was in my head, like, oh my god, I just need to grab that phone. I need to go on TikTok. And I would actually like feel really FOMO, because I actually deleted TikTok in February this year, or January. So I can say like it's been already like half of 2026. So half of the year I wasn't scrolling on TikTok. But do I scroll YouTube? Yes. Yes, I do. But it's like it's less than it was before. And I do think that, like, on TikTok I look I watch really like niche and specific type of content, whereas in TikTok it's just like whatever algorithm will give me, and I would genuinely feel FOMO if like I miss something out. Like, I would be this type of person who's like, I really like K-pop, so I would literally know every like single K-pop news. Like, I will know every single group. I will know their names, like some random facts about them, like also like dating rumors or some stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it was worth my time, and I could have invested it into something better. So, yeah, and maybe it's a good thing that that's happened to me, and and it will be probably happening more times. I think we all once in a while get caught up in this like scrolling era. Ironically called it scrolling era. I don't know. But yeah, but I just think just having like this realization of like this is wrong. I need to get like better habits. I need to go back to some kind of sport. I need to work on myself, on my personal projects, blah blah blah. Just like having this thought, this realization, and starting acting on it is what makes a difference, is what actually will put you in front of so many people, because not a lot of people even like have this thought. But if you have it and you act on it, trust me, you you'll be better than most of the people nowadays. And it's a good sign. It's a sign for you to start working on yourself and get your shit together. Yeah, that's the message here. I guess my last message would be dream big. You know, if you need, just have this like little moment of just sitting down with yourself and thinking. Like, no, actually, just like go outside, go in some kind of park, or for me, I live near the beach. Just go to the beach, you know, have a swim, just like sit down on the sand, look at the horizon, look at the sun, whatever you feel like, and just like think. You know, for some people, like journaling helps, like just writing your thoughts down. But maybe just start with just like, you know, allowing this thought to go to your head. Because some people are actually like terrified of their thoughts. Not like, okay, I mean, I don't know. It really depends on like on people. Like I'm really speaking objectively here, but some people would some people don't like to hear their own thoughts, because when you're when you don't have any noise around you, when you don't have any distractions, you are the realest version of you. You're in this vulnerable position where you need to hear yourself, because there's nothing to distract you. So the only thing that is like available to you is your own thoughts. And so some people would be like, no, I don't want to hear myself. I'm just gonna, you know, like listen to music. I'm just gonna to a party. And I mean, I think it's like, honestly, this deserves a completely different conversation about like people who just like everywhere they go, the noise follows them. Like they are not able to be like in a quiet space with themselves. So yeah, just go outside, have a think, even like stay in your room and stare at the blank wall if you need for an hour or two or like half of the day. I mean, no, don't do that. Just even like 30 minutes is enough. So yeah, I guess this is a message here. This is it, y'all. Peace out.